Very good morning to all of you. On behalf of AIMS Northern Region, we welcome you all in this roundtable conference on strategies for scaling the human in the Amritkal of independence, that is transforming higher education institutions into multidisciplinary institutions. We have a battery of experts with us. Before we formally start this roundtable conference, I would like to invite Professor M.R. Rao to chair the session. Professor M.R. Rao. Thank you, sir. I would request Professor Nan Gopal, the president, to please occupy the place on the dais. I would also request Professor Ajit Singh, the past president, to please come and occupy the chair on the dais. And Mr. Kudik Sharma, the regional vice president of Northern Region, also will occupy the chair on the dais. Thank you, sir. On this roundtable conference on strategies for scaling the human resources in the Amritkal of independence, the essence lies in upskilling the people at two levels. Number one, as a student in the institution, that is higher education institution, and second, once they pass out and they join certain organizations, then as an employee or the part of the workforce. So the emphasis has always been on skilling or improving their efficiency or effectiveness through different means adopted by either the higher education institutions or the organizations where they join as employees. There have been a lot of debate on these topics, especially skills, and it has taken a front seat in the past 10 years at least. So we have been hearing about the skill gaps quite early, maybe 20-25 years back. But the focus has been on this particular aspect in the last 10 years has been unprecedented. So to debate or to have a kind of discussion or having the sharing of thoughts on this aspect, we have a battery of experts with us. Before we go over the topic or the theme to the house, I would request the president of Dr. R. Nandagopal to give his view on this roundtable. Professor Nandagopal.
Respected Professor Amritkal, the past president and Dean Emeritus Indian School of Business, Professor Ajit Singh, immediate past president, and regional vice president Sarmaji, and distinguished past president and members of the AIMS institutions and participants of this roundtable conference. Very good morning to all of you.
Zoom कर देना है, Zoom setup कर देना.
This was started almost 22 years back by the director of IIM College. At the particular point of time, they were looking for some kind of consultative schools to work with the other consultative schools and so on. That's the reason why they formed this association. And now the association has grown in members. And now today we are officials recognized the association of the business in India. We have almost over 500 members, and the AIMS takes up a lot of advocacy role. Whenever there is issues or problems comes to the business schools, the AIMS raise the education and also sort out the problems. I think we got certain legal issues and we fought and we were able to help the business schools to continue their activities. And they continue to do a lot of activities, and recently we have taken a lot of activities and faculty and capacity to engage the faculty. And one of the activities is skill development. I am very happy to congratulate Professor Suresh Sharma on organizing this roundtable conference, because this is one of the most important topics today. I think when we are talking about the new national education policy, the skill becomes more important. And one of the issues debated for quite a long time is the lack of the skills in unemployability skills of the managers, actual process of the university, especially business schools. I think as we all know, we have more than 4,000 business schools, and each different levels of the category of the business schools have their own way of conducting the programs, and the skill sets are also trained in the different levels. I think it's very important that when you say one MBA program or PGDA program in the country, we have to have the level of the skill also should be at the highest level, not at the levels of the different levels. I think this kind of a forum will bring out the issues and how do we raise the category to a tier 2 or tier 3 institution or part of the tier institution. I think that is the most important issue which we have to discuss. Otherwise, in competition, our Indian business schools are not really competitive compared to Western schools and European schools. I think this exercise will help us. I think we are eminent speakers. I think today government is also giving a lot of importance for the skill. I think as mentioned earlier, last 10 years, the skill development we are focusing. That's the reason why even the government started setting up a separate skill university. We have the founder chancellor of the Royal Skill University also here. So some of the states have already started this separate universities for the skill development. So I think this conference, roundtable conference will bring up some of the issues which we will take it up. And we have distinguished past presidents and also resource persons from different business schools are here. I think the deliberation of this one day will help us to look into the skill development of the business school faculty and also the students. Once again, I congratulate Professor Sharma and all the distinguished people for giving me the opportunity to share my views on this occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Before we start the presentations by the honorable speakers, I would like to request all of you to please give your brief introduction one by one, starting from the right side, and then we will start the presentation. Can we start from this side? Just brief.
I'm Pokhriyal. I'm at C. Pokhriyal. I was the executive director of School of Overlearning in School Technique. And some experience with this university and other state universities like Java and everything. My basic area is to be council governance and development. So I'll do working to safety and achieve. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, sir, here. I'm to master student of management. I am a student of economics and teaching other interacting with the student of medicine and the universities on the issue, this issue of economics. My area of say, I'm trying to find out something educational governance, especially elementary education and political economy of this country. And the thank you.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kalpesh. I'm professor of management with Graphical and Engineering University, Delhi, associated with that university for the last 19 years. My area of academic interest lies in international business management, trade and Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I am Professor Hanuman Prasad. I am professor in Faculty of Management Studies, Mohandas Safari University, Udaipur. Presently, I am director of the Faculty of Management Studies. My area of specialization is finance.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yogi Markers and I am the Vice Chancellor with Finance and Sales in Zealand.
Good morning, I'm Ravi Gupta, currently heading the Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, Sahagarh, a part of the Sahagarh University as a director. And I represent the AIDS BP chapter also as a chairman. Thank you very much.
Good morning, all of you. Myself, I'm Jay, and my area of specialization is economics, and I teach an army college. But I want the opportunity to teach management students at Dubai and their class. Thank you so much.
I'm Professor Ryan, Director Department of Management Studies, CBAT, Andhra Pradesh. And these are the so games. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Gurtam Basna, I do digital management. Good morning, I'm Professor Suhas Reddy, former Vice Chancellor, University of India. Last month, I completed my training. Thank you.
My name is Uday Salke. I'm a Group Director of Training Minister Management, Mumbai, Bangalore, Model Activities, and past present aims. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Patil. Worked with Bharati Vidyapeeth for 30 years in the field of management education. And 5 years with Guru Nanak Institute of Management in Mumbai. Past president in 2012. Good morning, I'm Amritkal. Work with IAS SCA. We are taking partners for one.
Very good morning, everyone. My name is Arjun Kaushik, and I am here representing the company by the name of Innovation Certificate Management.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Professor Arthik of Kolkata. I have more than 28 years of teaching and research experience. And present I am the regional Vice President.
Good morning, I am Dr. Ganesh Rao, Director of Pune Business School in Pune, and a member of the Institute Board. Thank you. Morning, I am Atul Bharat. I am Vice Chairman, ABSS Institute Technology.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Aarti Bharadwaj, member of BOG, ABS Institute of Technology. Thank you.
I am Subramju Shankar Sarkar from National University, Assam. And there for last 27 years, with 8 years being in between to I am known. I am the executive board member in this series.
Dr. Parag, Director of Engineering Institute and Dean Faculty of Commerce and Management, Salukubai University, and Treasurer at AIMS.
I am Dr. Sujata Maharaj. Currently, I'm holding the post of Director of Data Academics at Global Center for Communication Management, Organization, as the ex-Dean School of Management Studies, Devonshire University, and the past president case.
Good morning, one and all. I am Nandara Shivule. I am the Vice Chancellor of Sri Balaji University, Pune, and the Regional Vice President, West Bengal.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Masood Ahmed, past president of AIMS from Hyderabad.
So we have the information.
Yes,
of
yes.
the viewers who are online.
Yes. You can announce.
Now we have one member, two members who are with us online. Dr. Prabhat Pankaj. And we have.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. I'm Prabhat Pankaj. I'm the director of Jaipuria Institute of Management based out of Jaipur. And it's my misfortune that I'm not there due to my health issues, but I'm looking forward to the deliberation.
Thank you, sir.
Morning, I am Srinivas Murthy, Director, Institute of Public Enterprise. Nice to meet all of you through this forum. I wish the function great success. Thank you.
May I request Professor Amirul Hasan Ansari. My name is Ajay Kumar Sani. I am a professor School of Management with Grafikara University, Dehradun. My area is Human Resource Management and Organization Division. Thank you very much. Now I request Mr. Indermead to give his views on global collaborations. Mr. Indermead. Mr. Indermead is also associated with this company, IASEA, and he will be telling about the global collaboration and he is the sponsor of this event also.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, members of the management faculty. It's an honor to be able to give you the opportunity to speak to you. Thank you briefly for the opportunity. So, Arjun, my colleague and I represent this organization in the what we work in is the area of global collaboration for management distribution. My background is I have worked with I did my MBA from the National Institute for Business School, and then I worked with school in the area of global collaboration. So we collaboration with Stanford, so we did collaboration with Stanford for multiple schools, and then we brought this to India. We just brought it back India, and we had started working for Indian schools. Now, this is our area of expertise. What we need to do is to bring down the cost for you in terms of having a fulfilling partner, international relations and global collaboration, and help you in quickly getting collaboration so that therefore raises your visibility in the international market, raises your rankings, your research collaboration. So that is the idea we started, and this is what we are doing. So global collaboration is looking at immersion program in the area of driving program with multiple schools in the area of doing. See, the UBC notification recently announced that we are allowed now to training programs and driving degree programs. Earlier there was a problem with that, and earlier universities were offering that, but now we are officially allowed to do that. And we already have in case who are willing to do that in India. Because there are certain problems for them to offer the new programs in the States, right? So they are willing to offer that industry student. So we are will be happy to help you with that. We also think that it's very important in the current regime to be able to be more visible. And in the national as well as the international market, especially in manual education, which is so competitive today, because I understand ambition is a problem, the schools that are not doing so well, and how do you build this? If you are able to offer something to students as well as the faculty, getting faculty is also a problem. So we are looking at both the ends, the institution, students and faculty. So we have programs that will help you do student immersion programs, give the students a global perspective, shape them abroad, new programs there. We can help you get faculty from abroad, come down and give students a global perspective. So these are different price points for every institute we have. We can also help you do faculty exchange programs where faculty from other schools come down to one university to do programs and from your institute or university go abroad and do that. And then there is of course research, which is a kind of a new concept, but some big schools in India, the IIMs, all they are doing it. And we have had the opportunity of many faculty who are willing to come down and get into India's huge market, right? And they are willing to come down to India to do research collaborations with Indian families. Now, how it helps you, I'm sure you want to know that, it helps you with qualifications and rankings and all that. So that was something that we can help you with. So this is why I have already talked about this, why internationalize. Every one of us know that we need to internationalize. People still think that other than one or two of the IIMs, now all schools are at the level of foreign schools like say Harvard or Cornell or something. But we do have the faculty and students. What we need is global exposure and some amount of global input. And that is something that we can help you. I mean, we can't say that you that will bring you to the level of that kind of image, but it will definitely help raise what we have done today. We have done multiple programs. We have worked with Kolkata and Bangalore. Programs our recent project is more to management, where we think about more people abroad to Singapore and Frankfurt, that will take before and that is the family, and we will programs there. They were very well done and we handled everything from course curriculum, community, meetings with faculty who deliver the program, so that the programs will find tailored to your needs, but what is the level at which you want it to be adjusted to, and we do all that. And we, while we do not take care of the logistics as of now, we can also do that. So these are our partner universities as of now. We have already run programs, right? NUS, of course, NUS RMI is the West Management Institute, NUS School of Business, the Troy University, Practice School, Fordham University. We have also done programs with Cornell, Garden, Virginia, Stern School, but they have been from our different organizations that we were a part of. So this is what we have done, and we hope to bring that with your organization, your activity. Thank you for your time, and if there are any questions, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony, for making us aware of your operations across the world. Now we move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Dr. R.P. Jewell. He is currently Professor of Economics and Ethics, Master School of Management, Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. And he specializes in human development, that too with educational governance and micro level. Prior to joining Master School of Management, he was Associate Professor in Head Department of Economics, MAS College Meerut, consulted National Institute for Administrative Research with the prestigious Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, Missouri. Professor Joel carried many research studies in education governance and organized several training programs to impart the skill of preparing and implementing district elementary education plan to district level officers in several states and union territories.
really accept or really in compatibility with the challenges the we face in the changing scenario. That is a big issue. And knowing with it also, another very important point is that at the policy level, we all know that and various points has a several times empirically established that the contribution of education in human development activities, say specifically education, is empirically established, ranges from 1/4 to 2/3 in the endeavor of economic development. That's not me, it's T.W. Schultz and Dennis. I'm giving the reference. Secondly, it has also been established that 1 year in schooling, we increase 1 year of schooling, 1 year to mean year of schooling, the GDP rate or any growth rate, the main is, it goes up by 0.44%. But the point is why we in India, despite knowing this, I'm not going to that political economy or doing that we are lagging. But one point is there that we need to reorient our education system specifically for this point. But I have selected this topic for my discussion is very clear. See, our new economic education policy, specifically mentions that every student must be welcomed and care of in our educational institutions. And he must have a wide range of learning experiences. These are the two objectives. And other thing also, besides, we have accepted the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, 2030. In that, we have stressed it, we have accepted it, that we must ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and to promote lifelong learning opportunities. But these three objectives that are coming up here, and the global community as such has accepted, we need to understand and to look at emerging change and challenges to the coming to humanity in general. See, all of you, I'm sure, must have gone through the Yuval Noah Harare's wonderful lesson for 20th century, human sapiens, etc. And many other stories, including Thomas Piketty and all that. They have specifically mentioned related about 3-4 challenges, particularly. And our education system has, not only in India, but rest of the world also, but they are in this space. There is space for accommodating these changes and making necessary adjustments in the education policy is robust. Our is till date our. So what are the challenges? The first challenge that is coming from technology. You know, the technology that we are having has changed, that we are witnessing in the new days to come, has entirely changed the way we think, the way we work, the way we reward, the way we progress. Earlier, there was over a period of time, as doing this in future, and many of the people, there's a technology unleashing the creative destruction. That is still there, but the point is, presently, the challenge is something different. Earlier, it was a challenge, then man-machine competition was there. Man-machine competition is there, which is wrongly, earlier also, and today also, many, especially our say, I will not make that, they feel that technology is eating jobs. Technology is taking away jobs. That was the conception. But now empirical research is all over the world have cited the example, specifically of India, within last say few years, say a decade, the number of jobs destroyed by modern technology are less than the new job opportunities created by new technology. That is one, artificial intelligence, robotics, changes in biotechnology. These all are making a mix, making the challenges that lead us to move in a different, altogether different direction of our education system. Okay, now what are the challenges? Well, the basic, we know, we are pretty sure that the repeated jobs, like, I don't know, so many repeated jobs, like there will be less number of drivers, there will be less number of typists are not the thing of past. Now typists are not there. So in due time, we are pretty sure other repeated jobs will be go away, but new jobs will be created, but then new jobs will require people who can see man-machine cooperation. Not competition, man-machine cooperation. The association between man and machine will be close. But we agree with this or not, you must have seen that in the chess competitions all over the world, machines, robots are defeating grandmasters. And the referees are worried, not because the human beings are defeated, they are worried that human beings may be seeking some constructive solutions, advices hiddenly from the rules. So these are the new challenges. One, this is the first challenge, that how to make people and machine comfortable with each other. Looks very strange. Some of you must have heard Amritkal was our very great scientist. He had written a story for students long back. It happened tomorrow. It happened tomorrow. He argued these things in that our people argued much before the artificial intelligence and robotics were in operation. But we are letting it, that's one. The second point is the biotechnology, you know, what has the biological science has reached to this level that we can choose. In near future, we can choose which type of progeny we need. We are in a position to replace the organ that we don't like, become diseased or even we don't like. That technology is available. So that is a set of problems with increasing inequalities in this world. How much capacity many other people have argued and proved it beyond doubt that inequalities today are at that same level at the time of French Revolution. Now, if these inequalities remain so, increases in man-machine relationship that is changing, and the biotechnology is there, but in the future there will be permanent rich, powerful and beautiful, a permanent riches of the poor, no access to the modern technology. Then these are 3-4 challenges that we need to learn. So, which type of education system we need? Which type of education system we need? See, in India, what is the issue? If we look at the data, we find 3-4 severe deficiencies that can be cured, can be taken care with a boost to this system of multidisciplinary institutions. You know, what will that is? You know, I think everybody knows here, but one of the most important functions of education is to see the emerging changes in the society, in journal, and create knowledge to convert all these things, to see the changes, prepare for them, and convert at the hard level. This is not something only interpretation of higher education, not only for interpretation of the knowledge, but for creation of the knowledge to address the changes that are coming, address the problems of changes that we like to see, to address them. That is the basic function of education. For that, this type of system is needed. That is the basic thing. But we have a large number of educational institutions which are standalone institutions. They are imparting and alone. They are imparting BEd alone. They are giving the degrees of, say, graduate, post, say, in humanity, in science, whatever. In that system, which type, there are 2 things. One is knowledge is indivisible. Knowledge is indivisible at the apex, whether it is physics, whether it is poetry. Both are at the same level. Reach at the point when apex comes, both communicate, converge and communicate the same way. That is, we can say, that is what? To liberate human beings. Ya vidya sa vimukta. विद्या वही है जो हमें मुक्त करती है। मुक्त किससे करती है? When your material miseries and our intellectual miseries and all that. So when the basic function is here, why do we have this compartmentalization of education? That this is a weird institution. This is simply because this is for the convenience. And it is a methodology to impart knowledge. It is not the end. But unfortunately, what we have done, we have resulted in the end. And it's the result here. In India, given the data, 7% educational institutions, 7% educational institutions, degree colleges are such where enrollment is 50. And a very good percentage, I forget that percentage, say around a very good number of institutions are there where enrollment is 500. Now think from any economic rationale, are the faculty deployed there, one point is there, are they being used? They are being utilized, I will not use the word utilized, are they being subject to sharing their knowledge with large masses of teachers? In economic terms, it is an economy, because we all know from economic services, basic economic services, for efficient and optimal use of particular resources, we need a minimum number of population. Minimum population, that's what we call it like a marketing terminology, minimum number of customers. So that is not there, so they will utilize. Second thing, when there is only one type of institutions going on, there is no peer pressure for education and research. Peer pressure बिल्कुल नहीं है. You simply earlier because pass करने के लिए you have a 15 years of experience, you promoted to this level, you are promoted to that level. So there is no peer pressure for actually, and there is no peer communication also. Physics scholar, mathematics scholar. But we know that without studying mathematics, you cannot have good physics. Without studying good economics, good geology, political science, you can't understand the policy implication of science. And the new education policies say that I said the imperative of new education policies say that we want to give the very experience, very learning experience to students. Now, if a student-alone institution is there, also can give the very experience. If I want to learn music, I have a taste in music, and my education, my college has only one faculty, two faculty. One is of economics, one is of mathematics, one is of English. So the freedom that education policy wants to ensure to make is started there itself. Not because of scarcity of the give you a reason, but other reason is quality planning. And it's very strange to, I mean, not strange, you must be all knowing it, that we have a peculiar system of degree colleges. Why is degree colleges created? If you could find hold of a very beautiful book by Munis Raja, former vice chancellor of long back of Jawaharlal University, studying very in depth the evolution of higher education system in India, tended said that this degree colleges was a Galileo system where you must tell the student how to implement the policy and how to take and implement the command. No creativity. No creativity. We are carrying with that system. So where we are going to get this? And if you look at the data, why this degree college is a product of, I mean, as well as the degree college, state-alone institution, there is a little sense. There's some sense rather when there are special cases of, say, nuclear research coverage, and there is a strategic issue, there is a other hazard issue, model issue. Okay, they will for standard, but having 33% institutional standalone, 36% of degree college, 75% of your institution is not creative. So how to create this creativity? There's one is to create multidisciplinary institution. Another point, we will look at the choice of the student for the subject. What we are doing? Large number of students. The first category is attitude for studying for humanities enrollment, 36%, something are enrolled for. This is the education system. Second comes for studying physics, chemistry, science stream. Third comes commerce, fourth comes engineering. Now, what type of thing is that, or in this, you will see what is very important, that these students are. I have studied, yeah, I studied with deeply, 2-3 words, and I work with them today in Western Uttar Pradesh, degree without degree. The degree is there, but now the degree is irrelevant, keeping the fact that there are competitive exams, keeping the fact, so there are unattending students, they are enrolled in school, political expenses are there, teachers are paid in government schools, in private schools also paid, whether the student attends school or not. What is the logic? Recently, the skill India development report says around 50%, around the say 46 something data is there, are don't have good employability. So how can you define good employability? There is a question of this. And what is more in art, science, etc., etc., it's okay. But when it comes to the food soldier of applied technology, the IITs, sorry, the Indian Institute of not technology, this industry training institute, ITIs and polytechnics, their environment as well as 46%. So which type of institutions are created? They are not worried about the system. We are not. So I'm very strict time to manage वाला इसलिए इसको मानूंगा 2 बार और किसी कर देता हूँ just to the private sector when there was a boom, when there was a say better economic condition from 2003 to 2010. Lot of institutions have been created. And you all know that how much have submitted the application for approval, especially the infrastructure created to base. The infrastructure created is a waste. Till the best time to utilize the facility, the infrastructure judiciously to move in this direction and create an atmosphere where different type of different knowledge spheres interact, work, and provide the learning opportunity that we are promising to our students. We have promised to our students a new education policy. And the last and equally important fact is equally important. We must ensure the money spent, the resource employed are judiciously utilized. Otherwise, they will get political exposure. I know the task is difficult, but we also has to make a start. A new education policy has made a start. They have agreed. They have made several illustrations. Many people know. After me, they know those things better than me. What are the rules of education change? So I request to please kindly take this direction of developing, utilizing the age-old wisdom that one of the things is the good, and we must have a system where scholars, students can interact with one another to develop a system of education where remove the age, where education can relate human beings, not simply produce degree holders without freedom. Degrees without freedom. That's no meaning at all. Thank you very much for listening to this rhetorics, rather, not very polished arguments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Feedback.
Thank you very much for your presentations. Now we move ahead. Before I request HC Gotia to share his views on this theme, let me read out his brief profile for all of you. Professor HC Gotia has more than 40 years of experience in teaching, research, and educational governance. He has worked as Executive Director, School of Open Learning, University of Delhi, and faculty member at Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, Government of India Institute. As the national level principal investigator, he coordinated PG Pathshala project in economics, sponsored by MHRD, UGC developing the digital contents using 4-quadrant approach for the PG courses. Professor Pokhrial also worked as the member National Task Force constituted by National Assessment and Accreditation Council (NACS) on development of manual for open and distance learning for assessment and accreditation. He also worked as a member of the working group on Hill and Western Ghats development programs under the Planning Commission, Government of India during the 10th five-year plan. He coordinated various training programs and research studies sponsored by the multilateral funding organizations on appraisal and evaluation of governance initiatives undertaken in the education sector by different states in India. He has published 5 books and several research papers on educational governance, development of marginal regions, micro-planning and human development. Professor Pokhrial has extensive experience in coordinating with the government and regulatory agencies on initiating governance reforms in the open distance learning and online learning in higher education. So I request all of you to welcome Professor H.C. Pokhrial for his deliberation on transforming higher educational institutions for National Education Policy 2020. Professor H.C. Pokhrial.
Friends, there is a law of education on the vision here. I don't know where to pick it. Anyway, very interesting, creating my computer. My change, this is of this whole discussion is if you can do the stakeholders. I know you are the chief officer having the management education. And I have a little bit as which is real, but mentioning that is understanding about the whole idea of multi-disciplinarity. And we have to be very there will be possible political scientists, Thomas Herbert Marcus. He said that as a policeman, I'm standing at a crossroad and I'm telling people to go this way. And if you will not go to that direction, then there are failures. For last 2 days, or yesterday and today, I'm studying that. So I'm focusing on that one. That's how best you people as the situation of the schools can be best in this situation. I want to read how the association of the schools can do best and exploit this situation, utilize this situation, for their own interest. There's a political pressure, everyone's trying to manage it. But you are nagging because of certain things. From the nature of the articles learning, I have some people working in different environment and working in the central industry. I'm trying to understand. I also specifically work with the accreditation agency, and accreditation will be the issue for you. Be careful. As a old man, I'm just speaking about caution. So quick next. So actually, what are the basics of the that can we say that management education is more appropriate for holistic and multidisciplinary education? Yes, sir. We are most welcome because I know there are issues. There are issues. So why don't you come here, sir? As I mentioned, that I will be little fast. The PowerPoint is PowerPoint will remain here. You can use it, you can ask a lot of questions, but just I'm giving a lot of cautions. I think one caution is already given by so I want to put everything on the board and then what are the rules, regulation, and how we can do this. And okay, so my ultimate focus that what is the way forward? I'm an external entity. I'm not from management education, but I've seen it, how things are working and what can we do. And these points may be discussed by all of us, not today, but tomorrow, maybe in due course of time. आज कहानी शुरू हो गई है, खत्म नहीं होगी। इसके लिए और क्या है, आपके पास 7 साल है। ऐसा नहीं कि कल ही आपको सबको कन्वर्ट कर देना। But if you, I'm not saying sleep, but if you must be aware about the situation. And there's no harm. You are already ahead. Already multidisciplinary and I will do document. And I know from my point of view, multidisciplinary never means to open many departments. Multidisciplinary never means to open universities. Multidisciplinary never means to do something which you are not doing. As a native to there are issues, there are points. Next, please. Can I ask you one question? How many of you read this AAP 20? People of the also praise for you, sir. Now, which are person, I really touch you. This is something very important. Thank you very much. But he's the youngest man, that's why I'm saying. So read this document, and you will find lot of space for your management education. Now, the point which are mentioned by the procedure, if you read it, there are two things: knowledge landscape and government landscape. But you have to copy we have to be very careful. And you are much ahead. Your document says that your students are having better employability, and you focus on the employability. Electrical investment, daily investment, we don't focus on employability. There are a lot of issues. So my only request is that why we are talking about multidisciplinarity, because there is a fear that in the coming 20 years, the same skills are going to be automated. Right? Yeah, we Harare considered there is one chapter you read that chapter. But I'm just picking you, I will walk other day you get both one later on research. Now, another question. How many of you read the draft national education plan, which was already on the public domain and which was published in 19 my only request is that we read this chapter towards more liberal education. There is a concept for liberal education. I will not go into that detail, but exactly your management system works for liberal education. Liberal education. There are a lot of issues, lot of interesting points which say that तो वो interdisciplinarity, transdisciplinarity हो जाएगी. That's why specifically they are using multidisciplinarity. So because of this pair, and this is exactly because of the disruption of our so there is humble advice from my side. There is an idea of local education. 21st century, how to bola ja raha hai, how to education. But the interesting point is that in this scenario, your focus would be, I think, one honorable vice chancellor is there. So the point is that what kind of skills you need in the future. I think more than skills, you need attitude issues which are concept with the other, learning. So the point is that even in view of all of these issues, the multidisciplinarity is there. That's why the MHRD is really indicated as Ministry of Education. It's probably big sometimes. Now the Ministry of Education, why? Why human is not a resource?
अभी प्रोफेसर गुलाम मेरे से क्लास करने लगे हैं, I really appreciate it. Amrit Sen has worked on here. Amrit Sen worked on this. He never called women as a resource. हम जितने लोग यहाँ पे 15-20 लोग 25 लोग बैठे हैं, we are not resource. The resources are for us. And multidisciplinary education convert women as a capital person. कल से आपको प्रोफेसर रमान विशाल जी को अपने डिपार्टमेंट से मैं ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट के लिए कुछ और नाम दूंगा. So I hope next is quick. Yeah. So ये मैंने दो कोट लिए, एक हरारे की किताब से है, वो कहता है कि your education should make you to prepare for the kind of changes. If you are doing it, you are in power. If you are not doing it, you are not in power. Anybody is power like that. A organization, there is one solution. How many of you read, you know, there are two documents I read, and some of these books. One I read called anything, just a name for it. It's a good document. मेरे पास इस सारे documents मैंने पढ़े और मैं लाया हूँ. मैं सोचता हूँ कि देश डॉक्यूमेंट होगी, उसमें इनके अगर आप पूछेंगे कौन से सेक्शन है क्या सेक्शन है, that's something very important. Second, I'm referring the draft जो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है, 19 में जरूर पढ़ें. इसमें खासकर लिबरल एजुकेशन जो हायर एजुकेशन सेक्शन है, it is around I think 480 pages. I'm not saying go to it introductory chapter for it, so that you will be able to know what is behind the mind of the government, of those policy makers, those who are looking at you. Next week around, there are a lot of follow-up publications. The BBC, the NCP, the NAC. NAC के publication आप पढ़ेंगे, तो you will find the similarity between NDA and there are other accreditation, boards. So, my suggestion is that recently there is a white paper published by NAC. This is about the new way of accreditation. So you will be ultimately gradually you will be changing your अपना ऊपर का चोगा बदलेंगे, किसी न किसी रूप में बदलेंगे. That time this document will next please. क्या बोलो? ओके, अब आप फिर देखिए, आपका जो डॉक्यूमेंट है, मैंने आपके दो डॉक्यूमेंट देखे, एसोसिएशन ऑफ इंडियन मैनेजमेंट एसोसिएशन के दो डॉक्यूमेंट देखे. One you published in February 22. I'm grateful to Sudhir Sharma ji that he was kind enough just to circulate that document to me. I have read it thoroughly. एक कल आपका डॉक्यूमेंट सर्कुलेट हुआ है, बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग डॉक्यूमेंट है, वो भी मैंने उसको बड़े ध्यान से पढ़ा. And then on the basis of blending all that, NEP says that your management education, the part of technical education is a part of professional education. Am I right? If you read, there is a specific section. Section I have noted. It is demand driven. There are more industry, higher education collaboration. You are not a silo. Yes, definitely one college of the Delhi University can call it a silo, but you are not a silo because you have all these kind of flexibility. Interestingly, you deliver post-graduate education. Yeah, this is a very strength. You are not giving the undergraduate, this may first year, second year, third year, and now fourth year. And there are a lot of things. So I call you as a specialized multidisciplinary educational institution. Next please. Oh, ये और आपके लिए बात है. And luckily, there is no finality. There is no finality. Now the issue is that there is Higher Education Commission of India. It is in the pipeline. It is in the pipeline. जितना आप इस समय अलर्ट रहेंगे, अपना एक डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करेंगे, that will help you a lot. In future, maybe in the coming 4-5 months, you will be able to see some of these kind of national level, regulating organization. One is your regulator, second is your National Accreditation Council, and now you can see yesterday in your document, you were talking about SAQs in India. Now you can see how it's going to be made. Accept the legal
And medical education, all education systems are going to be covered by this accreditation. And the white paper, which I was just referring, is the paper which is talking about this new system. And once you know about what are the new changes which are coming up, then you will be very informed. A document or a chat document, and then you negotiate with AICP, still AICP, is working, UGC is working, and then you negotiate and then go. The third is for higher education grants council. If you are interested, you can go in, but they are talking about this thing. Then this last, what you call vertical, is talking about the kind of education that is required. This is called, general education. So what I'm saying, that still things are in the pipeline. Ministry is working, the UTC is working, AICP is working, and gradually this shape that is coming. Maybe by the end of this year, they will give you a result for public comments. By that time, they can go painting in, you prepare a document, what exactly you want. Document आपका बना देंगे, जब आप इसके लिए कुछ homework करेंगे. And I'm very grateful, ये जो इस समय आपको workshop हो रही है, this is the most opportune time, that is what you are talking about. We are a small group, but you can do wonders. Next week. आपको जो डॉक्यूमेंट कहता है वो आप मुझसे ज्यादा जानेंगे. But what I'm underlining is that you any fee आपको रोक नहीं है. आपके डॉक्यूमेंट में कुछ निराश नहीं है. I found little bit pessimism in your document, but any bit doesn't stop you. अगर आपका material चलता है कोई दिक्कत नहीं, I have no problem. any bit कोई problem नहीं है. कोई मैंडेट अभी नहीं है. जब तक मैंडेट आएगा, मैंडेट आएगा, prepare some kind of document, and then you see where you want to go. आपके लिए बहुत अच्छी opportunities है उसके बीच में. Maybe next. That is your document. You talked about when you convert yourself into a university, there is a cost. But I'm not talking about that you convert today or tomorrow. Let's think about that. You said go back to that. You said that NEP 20 only talks about UG after document data. It's not talking about only UG, it's talking about the whole thing from Amritkal to up to research. You have certain recommendation that इस recommendation को they need to revisit. मैं इस पे अपना जो comments है वो अभी कुछ नहीं होगा, आप बाद में बात कर सकते हैं. But we can just revisit and then look this comparing with the NEP and DNEP and some of the other developments. Next. Yeah, but जो आपने कल 2 या 3 पेज जो भेजा है, and what you are saying that जो PGDF है वो इधर को PhD. But the point is that here you have to negotiate with the UGC. How you can do it? I have a big question mark on that. But the point is that there is a need to revisit all these issues, keeping in view of the development which are taking part on their others. This second is that accreditation issue is very important issue. About you talked about MBA, you talked about SCQC, and now after this, maybe after some time, there will be only one NAC. So you have to be very careful about that. And there are certain, I have gone through some of the documents published by AIU and so on. The ICT related issue that we talked about, AICT permits 25%. Here, what you can think about that blended kind of learning process where some of our students can go for online. They can online courses, maybe you have to be very careful. And basically, I coordinated EPC Parchala. It's not an easy job. There are a lot of structural legal issues.
आप जब छोटे ग्रुप में काम करेंगे, where the literacy permitted around 40% where the students can go for online. Swayam is a very interesting thing, but Swayam is a collaboration between two universities. उसके ऊपर ही अलग से आपको वर्कशॉप कर सकते हैं. And the other issue, what you talked about, I think in a very pleasant and loving manner, it will be very happy. And if he is focusing on what you know, you reflect into doing. Knowing and doing, and then, it's going to be, making you more capable, human. Next, please. There is UGC guideline for transforming HCI into multidisciplinary. Have you gone through it? My suggestion is that, my time is running out, my suggestion is that you go through it carefully, and you will find that, oh, yeah, man, it's not that you are not doing. It's not that it says open new universities, open new departments. No. For my understanding, multidisciplinarity definition is that it takes from other disciplines, but it sticks to your boundary, enabling to improve your own capabilities. The point is this: मेरी अपनी human limitations भी हैं. I can't study everything. But the point is that the new time which is coming, where there are a lot of employment and educational implications, keeping in mind that एक academic background graduates ये एक बहुत बड़ा issue आने वाला है. अभी even Delhi University ने भी नहीं किया, ऐसा झूठ बोल रहे हैं. It's not an easy job. आप म्युनिसिपल डिग्री कॉलेज मसूरी के स्टूडेंट को आप पसंद करेंगे कि दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के किसी कोर्स को नहीं. इट्स नॉट एन इजी जॉब. रीड द लॉ केयरफुली. स्वयं एंड देन ग्रेजुएट कॉम्पिटिटिव, पहले तो ग्रेजुएट को आप डिफाइन कीजिए. Your graduates of management education should have equivalence with the graduates which are defined under the rules regulations which are already published. This beach may, I think, between 2020 and 22, a lot of new regulations are coming out. So be careful. There is a possibility of doing it. I mean, well, yeah, maybe there's a young boy who's got very funny, and our assumption is that the child knows everything. You need a lot of counseling. जैसे आप लोग meditation करते हैं, counseling करते हैं, that for multidisciplinarity as identified by the UGC. Okay. The way forward, now 3 to 4 minutes only. You, especially engineer people, as I understand, you are more appropriate. I am repeatedly saying, you are more appropriate as well. You best defend me, I am not. What is the way out? As external element, I think based on my understanding, I can tell you. And second one I'm saying is that in the daily development, what is yourself and autonomous? University but not officially count. Autonomous, but there are a lot of issues. I am on various governing bodies. I'm there, so I understand. Then you have to change structurally your system. Details are tiny here. What I say, be careful. There is a time where AIMS should work on more productive advocacy. It is a unique transitory phase. अभी कुछ नहीं हुआ है. Still, a lot of things are there where you can do. As I say that your management education broadly fits with the broad spectrum of physical education. They will pay something here, and I'm very confident. I have read it and I'm very careful. Only want to see the way things are happening. 21st century capability, all to try and realize it. आप ज़्यादा कह सकते हैं, मुझसे ज़्यादा 50% is expert on that. You know what kind of industry demand is there. You know why the students who are going out from the management education institution, why they are employable, not employable, a lot of things that you can think about. Next. ओके इसके लिए आप काम कर सकते हैं पहला पॉइंट जो अभी शुरू में हमने बात की थी about the national education policy which ultimately leads you to make yourself more multidisciplinary and good education. You have to prepare yourself, to fight or to negotiate. I mean, what is my question? To negotiate, to initiate consulting. This is our legal document. Now, this is my document. And this is the document after 4 years. When you go into one, then things will come out, right? So, and there is one more advice. You ask every individual, every member of your AIMS to develop institution development plan. Take a plan to develop. I think man is the honorable vice chancellor of this university. They must be involved in the development idea. जब तक आप यही बनाएंगे, you will not be able to fulfill the objectives of the national education policy. आप देखिए, they especially talk about identity. So फिर आप identity, yes, and then in fact you look from the perspective कि आने वाले 10 साल में, 20 साल में आप कहाँ जाएंगे? Look, inequality ये stabilize होगी जाके आने वाले 10 साल के बाद. There will be a lot of issues that come up. It is not going to be stabilized tomorrow. And the government says that it is going to be stabilized 2030 or 2035. And then after that, there will be some kind of thing. So, my only request is that you think in that time, autonomous college is a possible solution. Possible solution, there is the both side implications. उसमें आपको की flexibility की तरह से नहीं होगी. Recently, 2018 UGC, लेकिन तब आप UGC की सुंदर बनाए. I'm sorry, मैं जानती हूँ UGC का सुंदर क्या होता है. There are a lot of issues that will come up, right? So there are regulations. Autonomous college के regulations हैं. We believe that regulation. I understand the implication of this thing. इतना jump करना होता है ना, इतना आसान नहीं है कि कुछ लोग बैठे, अरे we are autonomous college. I said no, you are not. So otherwise you are okay. Why the regulatory authority? So you prepare for the first thing by for negotiating with the TCI, NAC, whatever. And then make announcement, develop identity. Next, this is the last one. एक रिक्वेस्ट है, इतनी सब बातें हमने कही, इसके लिए छोटा सा ग्रुप देखो एक काम की बात करो, इतना जो मैंने अभी वर्क किया सब कुछ नहीं आता, कई चीजें होती हैं. We learned only 12 or 13% what is said. We constitute the team. Ask that team, दो काम कर सकते हैं आप एक टीम बनाएं जो डॉक्यूमेंट डेवलप करें, आप एक टीम बनाएं जो नेगोशिएट करें, या पहले डॉक्यूमेंट डेवलप करो तब वही टीम नेगोशिएट करें, तभी जाके वो काम. My request is that read these documents, जितने भी related documents को आप पढ़ें और पढ़ने से you find your way. जैसे मैं कह रहा हूँ credits को आप कैसे define करते हैं, whether these credits are in the line of the credits defined by the UGC. कल ये ऐसे कि UGC बंद होके एक हो जाएगा. That is what I was talking about. I'm not talking the policy document which is talked about. And then what I'm saying is you develop a document. बिल्कुल काम की बात है, आप तो मैनेजमेंट के लोग हैं, हमको जो बोल सकते हैं, we can talk anything. Develop a document. We can help you, and that document will be based on the kind of existing, the policy paper, and then lead to give you a space for becoming money, distribution. You need basically to work on the structure, what is the structure that you require. It is not an easy job. And you are a very, I think a very interesting fashion. Then you need to think about probably you are much ahead. Pedagogy you are much ahead. What you are talking about in the paper which you submitted yesterday, mainly talked about two interesting things. One about the accreditation issue, and second is about the pedagogy, about the processes. When you say that you are learning this project-based learning, NEP is talking about all kind of communities, before and stop. You know, in this saga, there was a very good Mahasabala in Banaras. The honorable friends to work there. When you talk about project-based learning, the honorable CM of Uttar Pradesh said only two things, but I interesting statement just now, that you are already on the web. Okay, that you ask your students to study the local problems, what you talk about local immigration and so on. Ask your study to study the governance issues, to study how the government works, and then things will be okay. So the point is that in this dialogue, you are well prepared, you can do wonders, and things can be done in a much better manner. So thanks for this. I really try to be fast, but in case if something is there, my email ID. Maybe today, tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for giving me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us on the various issues related to NEP, draft national education policy, and the upcoming regulatory authorities in terms of HECI, NHERC, MAC, HEGC, and GC. Thank you. Now we have our expert, Dr. Prabhat Pankaj, who is connected with us online. I'll just read out his file before I hand over the proceeding to him. Dr. Prabhat is a postgraduate in economics and a PhD in applied economics. He obtained first position in the university in graduation and a university gold medal in post-graduation. He has been teaching economics at postgraduate and undergraduate level for about 30 years in the universities and business schools in India and abroad, including 7 years in Bhutan. Dr. Prabhat obtained executive education in management and leadership in higher education from Harvard University, Boston, USA. Dr. Prabhat is an avid trainer and a resource person on effective teaching, teaching leadership, student-centric teaching learning, effective student engagement, and outcome-based education. He is an international researcher and a resource person on the subject of economics of happiness. He writes in Times of India and Economic Times. Recently, Dr. Prabhat received the title of National Unicorn of Happiness by the All India Council of Technical Education, Government of India, for his initiative of teaching credit courses on happiness and cultivating a positive education environment through nudges and interventions at Jaipur Institute of Management. QS India Global Ranking Agency awarded Jaipur as the Institution of Happiness, and the award was handed over by Srimati Smriti Irani. Dr. Prabhat is presently serving as Director of Jaipur Institute of Management, Jaipur. Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad has written a case study on Jaipur Institute of Management, Jaipur, focusing on student engagement, which Dr. Prabhat has initiated at Jaipur. Dr. Prabhat delivers workshops and sessions and offers consultancy on higher education, student learning, and happiness management. He writes a blog post titled The Learning Corridor. So let's welcome Dr. Prabhat Pankaj. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your gracious introduction. I have 10 minutes in time, so I'll try and finish on time. So I'll be very brief. Respected President, AIMS, Dr. R. Nandagopalji, and dignitaries on the dais, and all our colleagues and dignitaries who are present in the hall. First of all, my apology for not being there, because I already made my plan to come over there and meet all of you personally. It would have been a personal gain, but due to my health issues, I could not join. And thank you, Ames, for considering me for 10 minutes deliberation on multidisciplinarity in B school. So I'll be focusing basically on B school. A lot has already been spoken about the general education. So I would like to start with, and most of it is going to come with my own research and experiences and in the light of NEP, and also what we have been doing at Jaipuria Institute of Management. So I'll share those experiences and I try to make a couple of points in front of you for your consideration and discussion. The first point I'm going to make is that education per se, if you look at NEP, etc., and the broader view of education as has been formulated from time to time, right from the time of the Durkheim down to Talcott Parson, down to Jagdish Bhagwati, and many contributions that has come from the Indian scholars. The education per se has to move on two legs. There is no doubt on that, and widely we have accepted that. So one leg is that where we actually deliver the instrumental value of education, and the instrumental value of education is in the terms of students are able to work out their livelihoods, they get a job. But if you look at the world today, it is not confined to only livelihood and jobs, because we are dealing with a new generation which is very, very aspirational. And therefore, the way to look at the job profile or the instrumental value of education is also to accommodate their aspiration. So we are dealing with the aspirational, generation, and therefore a job is not just sufficient enough to talk about what we deliver to them. So we need to look at their aspirations. So as an educational institution, if you are able to map their aspirations and try to do something wherein they are able to carry on their aspirations, fulfill that, nothing like that. So that is the instrumental value, one side of or one leg of the education. But we have contradictions, and we also have views that education is not just about more it is about intrinsic value. So education also delivers intrinsic value in the form which Durkheim has actually said that education makes us a better human being, or it actually develops lifelong learning. So the second very important plank of educational delivery is where we actually follow the lifelong learning approach, and we focus on learnability of the student. Now, why this second plank or the second leg is important is that the education per se cannot move forward if we do not actually walk on both the legs. It has to be instrumental. It also has to be intrinsic. Why it is because you look at the selected trends that is emerging in the entire globe and in the market. The first trend I would like to emphasize is on the companies are now, if you look at their expenditure pattern, they're spending a lot on health, hygiene, and safety. And the mental health is actually taking the center stage. So this trend cannot be overlooked, and we have to prepare according to that. Second point, if you look at that, there is a lot of emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, if you silo ourselves with these kind of concepts and this kind of understanding of society in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion, we are not going to do a good service to the students. Third is that people are looking for, and many companies have started looking at alternative ways of communication. And here comes the technology. And so it is not just AI is a reality, but also the virtual reality, the VR, and also the metaverse is also going to be a reality very soon. So you cannot overlook this development. And the fourth is that the organization will examine how they impact the environment, which is also a very big issue. So we are talking about the UN Charter of PRME, the Principles for Responsible Management Education, the Sustainable Development Goals. So if you look at all these trends together, the skill in demand, and a lot of studies have been done, the World Economic Forum and other studies, where people are talking about resilience, stress tolerance, critical thinking, achieve active learning, converting the students into an active learner, analytical thinking. So, the perspective is that, there are a couple of changes which are knocking at the door of business school, and we cannot be oblivious of these changes. So I'm just identifying three changes for you to consider. There are many, but I have just picked up three for sharing with you. Number one is that the one challenge is that it is more about learning and not just the teaching. So we have to convert our institutions into a learning institutions rather than a teaching institution. That means that we have to go for 360-degree change and U-turn, where the teacher-focused institutions have to be converted into student-focused students. And there's a lot of meaning associated with it, so I don't have that much of time to explain what focusing on learning means, but you know it very well what it means to be focusing on learning rather than teaching. The second, challenge that I would like to emphasize is that education, but not just the management education. So, the institutions which have actually focused only on management education have not done so well in comparison to the students, the institutions which have actually taken the education in the broader sense of the term. So, this is another a challenge that we have to. So we have to open up our mind, and the management institutions, the faculty, as well as the authorities, they have to look at the broader education framework. Third is a broader engagement for making the impact, and not just curriculum or extracurricular engagement. So when we talk about the student engagement, we confine ourselves to curricular, extracurricular, or some kind of experiential learning, some kind of industry engagement. But this is not the end of it. And the time to come, we also have to focus on how these are going to impact the society. Where is the result? How it is changing the environment nearby, how it is contextualizing the learning, how it is actually solving some of the problems of the world. So it is more about impact rather than just the engagement. So these are the three challenges that I have identified for you to consider. Now I'm going to talk about the possibilities because the time of the possibilities, there 3-4 minutes are left, 4-5 minutes. So I'll focus more on the possibility of multidisciplinarity and how we can achieve it. From the experiences of Jaipuria, how we have been doing, and also my own personal view, is that the number one I would like to talk about is the introduction of liberal arts. So what we have done here is that we have introduced a package, a kind of bucket of liberal arts, when we have given the students a range of liberal arts courses, including the one which I'm teaching is the economic history of India. It's a very powerful course which I'm teaching to my students, and they're loving this course. Right from the psychology course, from the psychology, the course from the history, the course from the political science. These are the options that we have given to the students, and students have to pick up 2 courses as an elective. So that means 6 credit we have already given to them that they can pursue liberal arts, which is a very, very important plank, because a liberal education will help the students develop the sense of social responsibility. That's number one, as well as a strong and transferable intellectual and practical skills. That's what we are looking forward to. And such a communication, analytical and problem-solving skills will be developed in the students, which has been which is like a demonstrated ability to apply knowledge and the skill to the real world. So broader perspective, like if they don't understand geopolitics, they will not be able to understand its impact on the economy, on the business. And the geopolitics is changing so fast that just one lecture on geopolitics is not going to help. We need to actually give them a broad perspective of what conflict resolution is, how the international diplomacy is going on, why US is actually diverting or changing their stand, and what India should do in this regard. What is going to be the next action for Russia? Now, all these have implications for business. What I'm saying is that the liberal art education is so very important for the students. So new education policy is forthright in saying that the institutions have to be multidisciplinary. But the problem with the business school is that we have a limited scope, and within that scope, as of now, before we change into the university system or something like that, liberal arts is one good option. The second option I would like to talk about is the micro credits. People have talked about micro credits in a big way at the international level and national level. There has been a debate that stacking is going to help not only in employment, but also in enhancing the multidisciplinarity. Third is that when you are asking your student to stack credits in terms of micro credits through different means, either they go to the Coursera or go to the SWAM or go to some other portals, look at their vivacity of taking up diversity, inclusion, gender, sustainability as the stacking credit, so that the purpose of the multidisciplinarity is served in true sense of the term. The next point I would like to talk about is the collaboration. The ABC is going to be a reality, the Academic Bank of Credit, and then it makes a lot of sense for the business school like ours to enter into collaboration with the institutions where the liberal arts is being taught or some other courses are being taught, where we can actually develop this ABC mode, go to the ABC mode and through a collaborative, in a collaborative manner. So that's another point I would like to make. Next, I would like to make is in this kind of scenario, the pedagogical innovation is of paramount importance, because how the students are going to learn is going to be indicated by the pedagogy that we are going to use. And pedagogical innovations are the poorest of the innovations that is happening in the business school. Not many faculty are focusing on pedagogical innovations. Writing research paper related to pedagogy is not considered as valued as ABDC research paper that is being published. And therefore, it's time for us to consider that pedagogical research is as good as any other research. If we really are actually looking at multidisciplinarity research, and this is also a feedback I would like to give to the authority, who is at the helm of the affairs of implementing NEP, that some kind of the emphasis must be provided on the pedagogical research. What we have done is that we have started Center for Teaching and Learning Excellence, Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning, and we are doing multidisciplinary research. And when we have formed the research incentive plan, we are actually giving more incentive for multidisciplinarity, disciplinary research and the pedagogical research. That's what we are doing. The final point I would like to make is the business school has the opportunity to join PRME, the United Nations Principles for Responsible Management Education. And what we have done is that after joining this, we have identified a couple of SDGs to focus on. We have picked up no poverty, no hunger, health and well-being, quality education, responsible consumption. And then we are working on the practice level. At what is that at the practice level we would like to follow in terms of all these kind of SDGs? And then advocacy level. How do we advocate to the rest of the world and to the nearby places where these SDGs research are being communicated? And third is research, that is called the PAR approach. We have taken to implement the SDGs in our case. So this is one good opportunity for all of us. And then, as far as the SDG of health and well-being is concerned, we are going in a big way by creating a center for sustainability and happiness, where we are teaching happiness and also the positive psychology and also the science of happiness. So based on the science of happiness, we have also started the Center for Well-being, where the heartful meditation is being promoted. So all these kind of effort, need to be put in, and holistic way of looking at human capability is what is the NEP also advocates, and it's perfectly in tune with the kind of the environment which is emerging for us at the national and international level. So any business school who is a little cautious about looking and scanning at the environment, what is happening around them and what is happening across the globe, would find it little easier to understand multidisciplinarity. And they would agree to the point that multidisciplinarity is the call of the hour. Irrespective of whether it is being mandated by the NEP or not, it is in the benefit of the business school to look into the different aspects of multidisciplinarity, because this is a call of the time. I'm up with the time. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for this enlightening views on the implementation of NEP in context of the business school. Quite insight and quite deeper research-based thought processes by Professor Prabhat Pankaj. Two, three things that are bothering all of us, I believe. One is that how we are going to bridge the gap between the knowledge content development by the institutions and the employment environment by the industry or the job providers to the institutes. Second thing, which is equally important, sir, I'd like to re-emphasize, as I said, that we need actually a very fast changing social regime to accept this that yes, there is a very strong need for multidisciplinary education in the country. I'll give one example that during the COVID period, as the professor of management, we allowed the students that you can opt for a couple of more courses, those who were not able to join the summer internship projects because of COVID. And a couple of my students, they took some offbeat courses online through MOOCs, and one of it was cooking. And believe me, sir, I had to sweat a lot because the external evaluator, she was not very willing to evaluate this, that how can this be a part of management program. Then I had to tell that, well, sir, probably she might have learned some management skills, how to manage cooking and how to manage the kitchen as well. So the social breaking itself has to be modified, changed, or at least it has to be made more accepting the changes that are now inevitably possibly going on within the Indian education system through the implementation. I'm grateful to Simon for giving this opportunity. Now it's turn to be a sponsored me, but I invite him on the dais being in front of this. Professor Simon carries a rich experience of 25 years plus in the field of academics, and because while in academics he has been more hardcore marketing professional business. His area of academic interest lies in HR and international HRM. He is a scholar of steel, and he carries a doctorate degree in intellectual property, an avid researcher, a traveler, and a very innovator compared to many of us. I invite you, sir, for your insights on strategies to upskill the workforce in 21st century skills. Sir. Thank you, Dr. Abhishek. My deliberation will be for 8 to 10 minutes. Although I prepared something, but with the inputs received from our senior mentors, I would like to start with a metaphor because Dr. Pokhriyan has talked about so many things related to the two documents which were circulated by Mr. Suresh Sharma in the group. I picked up three major points for my deliberation. Number one is the knowledge landscape. Second is the employment landscape. And third is the change which is required to connect these two. And one of the themes, one of the part of this roundtable conference is scaling. Scaling at two levels. Number one, at the higher education institution level, the study level, and second is at the job level, when the students they go out and pick up their jobs related to their choice of specialization or area of specialization. We have been seeing for the last 25 years, at least I witnessed it for last 28 years, the management education, and a lot of deliberations, a lot of serious talks in the terms of making a better industry connect as far as the institutions are concerned. So on the basis of what Dr. Pokhriyan said, I am recalling one metaphor. I usually talk about metaphors in my training programs. The metaphor is about a bridge, and bridge is known as Choluteca Bridge. It is situated in the country of Honduras, in the Caribbean islands, just close to West Indies. The country is very small, and it is in a very volatile geographical area.
the rains or the weather is having extremes. And if you talk about rainfalls, then the rainfalls actually destroys the major part of the country because it's a very small country. So this Choluteka bridge was there in this country since 1930s, but then the government thought that in 96 they came up with the renovation, or they gave this contract to a Japanese firm to rebuild this bridge. And within 2 years, the Japanese firm gave the government of Honduras a bridge which will stand any type of calamity. And coincidentally, after handing over the bridge in 1998, Honduras witnessed the worst ever rainfalls in its history. It was traumatic for the people, traumatic for the government, and it destroyed everything. After the storm and the rains were settled, the government agency, as usually what they do, they came out and went for the work of taking stock of damages being done by this torrential rain. They found that the bridge was intact. Nothing happened to that bridge. So they were happy, but the climax was that they could not find the river on which that bridge was built. The river was actually flowing besides the bridge. So if this is the bridge, now the river is flowing besides the bridge. So if we talk about this matter, after that change, after that torrential rain, the bridge has become redundant. It has got no use. Although it was built with very precise technology, Japanese, as such, they are known for good work, honest work. It stood, and whatever they promised, they delivered. But within 2 years, it became redundant. That's the change. That's the kind of the storms of change which are now trying to engulf us. And we have been fighting a lot on this. Maybe 2.5 decades. I came across the first news item in Economics Time that 72% of the passing out students in engineering and management field, they are not fit for jobs. And I came across this news item somewhere around 2008, 2009. And it triggered a kind of thought process in me at least that then what we are doing. I am in this field of management since 1996. So if in 2009, after 13-14 years, I come across a news item that 72% of students are not fit for the job, then what we are here for. Then the deliberation and the meetings and the conferences, the roundtable conferences started, a lot of things done by the regulatory authorities to see what has happened. I am not going to spill the beans, but yes, all of us know what has happened, what is happening, and what is going to happen. Now, what is going to happen is for what we are here. We have to bridge this gap. The gap is education and the skill. But I say that it is the gap between expectation and reality. We are still not able to pump in this particular gap in the students, that whatever you expect and whatever is the reality, you do not want to share with them in the right perspective. There have been a lot of motivational lectures, lot of leadership skills, seminars and all that. But what actually is required, that I think the focus has shifted from that particular part to just imparting the education, starting out the batches, and then wait for the next batch. 2016 came and it gave us a very good insight, courtesy the World Economic Forum. And the chairman of World Economic Forum himself said, Mr. Klaus Schwab, that in the coming years, skill will be the new currency. It will become a negotiating power. Knowledge is with everybody. There are lakhs and lakhs of students passing out every year in the field of engineering, management, maybe pharmacy, and some other areas. But the thing which will differentiate an effective person from a non-effective person will be his or her skill. If I give my perspective on skill, I simply take it as the ability to apply whatever I have read in the colleges, in the institutions. That application part has been missing for long. And we have been now talking about to bring back that kind of ability so that the students or the candidates can apply what they have actually learned. So application of learning becomes very critical in the current scenario. Otherwise, all of us will be, when I say all of us, then the higher education institutions or the standalone colleges or the degree colleges, they will all be like shallow data village. Good infrastructure, lot of faculty members, but the product when it is going out in the market, it is not giving that value which have been promised or which have been told to the recruiters that yes, our student or this batch has got some element or some content to deliver in the market or in the organization. There are a lot of documents on it. Big universities in the world, they are doing enough research to give us inputs. Harvard is there, INSEAD is there, then another Norway, another institution in Norway, Oslo, Asian Institute of Management, Manila, all big people, big organization institutions are working on it day in and day out. But the point is that are we able to internalize those inputs, apply first those inputs in our institutions on people, on the students, make them industry friendly or capable to work in industry, and then start delivering the right kind of candidate for the industry. There have been a lot of discussions on the availability of jobs. As a person of management, I feel that the number of permanent jobs are reducing day by day. That is one aspect. That's very, let's say, critical events. That's the harsh reality which we are facing. Then, if those numbers are decreasing, then what for we are preparing the students in bulk, in volumes? Can we take a shift? Can we take a bypass from providing them a job to make them entrepreneurs or to make them researchers or to do some other things which the people will be requiring more? Keeping in view the gig economy, the environment, the workforce, the diversity, and all those fancy terms, VUCA and all that. We need to create a package, as we say in terms of the market. We need to create a package for the students so that they learn the theory as well as the application of theory, good industry connect during the course of study. One institution I don't know how many others are doing, but when I was preparing and aspiring for the management education, Devi Health issued as a Indore, the MBA program was 100% aligned with the industry. So from 8 to 1, the students will study, and with 1 hour lunch break, 2 to 7, they will work in the industry. And next morning, they will come and give feedback to the respective mentors that what they did the previous day. So classroom is here with all of us to talk about skill enhancement. But then the real thing is happening when we send the students in the industry, in the organizations, or we arrange certain small internships, paid or unpaid, doesn't make any difference. But that is to be done. And as Dr. M.P. Singh has said that the social regime has to accept it. On one side, we want to have that connect. And if somebody has initiated it, then a question mark is put on him or her that what will happen to our classes? Who will complete the course? So something has to be done to facilitate this process. I think that model from the MBA department of the it appealed to me that it has been appealed to me. So on my personal level, I try in the institution wherever I work, but when I need to be supported by the institution at large. So with this small deliberation, I will stop over here and now welcome the next speakers. But before that, I'm recalling some lines by the famous poet Gopal Das Neeraj. Karma guzar gaye dobaara dekhte rahe. So it should not happen to us that in spite of all the good things on our side, good faculty, good infrastructure, good course structure, still we are not able to generate or churn out good and efficient, capable students to work in industry. So that skill gap has to be taken at first level in the institutions, and the support should come from the entire very different industries. So thank you very much. Thanks for the patience. I guess. Thank you. So now our next speaker is Professor Amirul Hassan Ansari. He will be talking on new education policy and students' growth. But before that, let me read out his brief profile for all of you. Professor Amritkal Ansari entered academics with a PG diploma in training and development, master in social work, rural development, MA, MPhil, and PhD, specializing in organizational behavior and human resource management. He is one of the 3 founding members of the Department of Management Studies, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi, to which he has been director for 5 years. I am just been told that Dr. Ansari has not joined due to some health issues. Now I invite Professor Naveen Gupta. So before that, let me read out his brief profile. Dr. Naveen Gupta is a behavioral scientist, trainer, and management consultant with a doctorate in behavioral science from University of UP, now IIT UP, a bachelor's and master's in psychology from Meerut University. He has been gold medalist. And his other qualifications include application of somatic Inkblot series, SIS in personality assessment by SIS Center, Anchorage, US. Then assessing training development needs for organizational effectiveness by MDI Guru. So currently he is with the Hindustan Institute of Management, Agra. So all yours, sir.
Thank you, Professor Sel. as my topic emotional resilience and the new education policies. A lot has been discussed about the new education policy. Okay, also has been a lot of input. But I feel, and Professor Chuelson also was talking about emerging issues. But when I'm academic leader, we are all academic leaders. I think that reminds me few lines of the Buddha, up the go. The government has decided some policies that are only forced to think. Why I cannot see the emerging issues with the students? Professor Pankaj was talking happiness, and that reminds me the ultimate aim of the life is happy. Happiness, Dalai Lama. Are we really happy? So most of the business schools have focused more on consumerism and materialistic things. As a result, what we are seeing in the society, in the educational institution, recently we are seeing a suicide by the IIT students in the Guwahati. Not only one, so many. Noida, we have seen recently, unfortunately, by so many cases, we have seen uncivilian behavior at the job place. Lot of community personality, I can say, perhaps Professor Masood will support my saying because he has got background of psychology. Every third person, I can say with guarantee, not sitting over here, is near aggression behavior. It's not vulgar. And what we are teaching during the management classes allows the committees, very committees to participate in this. ये दिल मांगे वो words like थोड़े में गुजारा करते रहना, you are no more required now class to go serve. Nothing wrong because we have followed Western model. My presentation of few minutes will be only not I'm here what we should do, what I'm doing. My presentation will be only why emotional resilience, which we have discussed already in few lines. Second, what can be done? And third, how it can be done. 3 points I would like to discuss. Emotional resilience, why it is required, because of nature, happiness. Recently, few economists like you, sir, they have started talking about happiness index. A small country like Bhutan. Otherwise, we were focused GDP. But listen, the Maya Brown, we थोड़ा सा एक issue है. अब करा क्या जाए? During this COVID period, we have really learned a lot. We talk about networking. मुझे लगा बस 4 आदमी तलाशो और तराशो. We don't require too much networking. उसमें during this COVID period, मैंने बस एक ही चीज सीखा अपने आप से कि check your ECG. Not electrocardiogram, but empathy, compassion, and gratitude. इन 3 चीजों पे फोकस स्टूडेंट्स को हम कैसे कर सकते हैं, इसको थोड़ा आप बात कर रहे थे होटल सा knowing से from doing. Knowledge is important, no doubt. पढ़ेगा पॉलिसी पढ़ेगा, पर फिर वही अब तो बहुत मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ मैंने एकेडमिक लीडर वो एक देख लेगी तुलसी मुझे डांट रहे थे तुम रिटायर्ड हो गए हो तुम ये हो नहीं रिटायर्ड नहीं बट आई हैव ओनली वेरी लिमिटेड फोकस. अब मुझे काम करने को मिल रहा है, नौकरी नहीं करता, ठीक है, काम में जॉब एज लो कैन अफोर्ड भी, बट काम मेरे पास है.
तो इजीली एम्पैथी इसको कैसे डेवलप करना है स्टूडेंट्स को, एंड देन lot of management learning what we talk about planning organizing leading so many things. तो वो हमने इसको एम्पैथी कैसे स्टार्ट किया है. तो आई वुड लाइक टू टेक द हेल्प ऑफ द पीपीटी आल्सो डॉक्टर. So empathy में we were talking about the entrepreneurship before we go to the PPT. Yeah, this was the project which I initiated in 2014. When we talk about the motivation, then I'm surprised. I'm not able to motivate even my child. But in organizational behavior, like Professor said, we teach a lot. Okay, तो मैंने तो वहाँ पर दोस्तों साहब and witness, I read these items. एक गरीब ऑटो ड्राइवर was having a large family, नजीर, उसने 1.5 लाख रुपया एक स्टूडेंट का गाड़ी में छूट गया था उसके ऑटो में, उसने रिटर्न किया. So that gentleman, you can see the green server. Then I decided 15 अगस्त का टाइम था, तो मैंने कहा वो भाषण के लिए मैंने कहा यार मैंने क्या किया, गांधी जी, कलाम साहब, नेहरू जी, पर मेरे बच्चे पूछेंगे यार व्हाट यू हैव डन, वही चीजें पढ़ के बता रहे हो आप. मैंने कहा लेक्चर तो मैं देना बंद कर देना चाहिए, only action. I went along with my faculty member and the student. I met this gentleman. मैंने कहा भाई मैंने बच्चों से कहा learn motivation. When we talk about the corruption index, perception index of media, what the management schools are doing, still we are getting it. And Gandhi used to say, business without ethics is a sin. Science without morality is a sin. और हमने कहा क्या? Where we stand, sir? Only package, कितना पैकेज मिला, क्या करा, पूरी स्ट्रेटजी इस पे लगा रहे हैं. एडवर्टाइजमेंट कैसे करें, ब्रांडिंग कैसे करें. ब्रांडिंग सीखनी है तो सुंदर बात करो ना, नहीं चिपको आपको ना, तो फिर ऐसा करो बेटर. We talk about climate change, तो वो एसी में बैठ के डिस्कशन करते हैं. ये सारे कुछ इश्यू हैं जिन पे हमें काम करने की जरूरत है. Maybe we can use very good English, fancy language, model बनाना थोड़ा जरूरी है कि management education without model will not work at all. So we met. Then, I will not go more in detail. Masusa, Agra was. He came to see that particular model. वो एक कैसे टेक्नोलॉजी, मदारी टेक्नोलॉजी यूज किया, मोटिवेट कैसे किया, ऑडियंस से, and then I'm happy, बहुत सारा आपके काम हुआ, तो मुझे मजा आने लगा. And then can be action visit also if you are interested. You ठीक है, documentation करें properly, and that can be a good case study. Why? मतलब research कोशिश करेंगे कि वो तो we need a change. So I can talk a lot about this thing, but recently when I'm talking about COVID-19 देखा, तो हमने स्टार्ट किया है भोजनालय, SOS भोजनालय, और जगह भी मॉडल चल रहे हैं, हैदराबाद में भी चल रहा है. फूड फॉर द नीडी एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन. We cannot be dependent totally on government policies. What the government is doing, employment is a need. Like Vinoba Bhave, हैदराबाद में जाके काम किया, क्या किया जा सकता है? तो हमने with the purpose in employment creation and food for the needy, like what Vivekananda used to say, in our society, even if a single person is hungry, then the whole society is responsible and we are all greater. तो वो हमारा था एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन और फूड फॉर द नीडी. इसको अभी हमारे 5 भोजनालय चल रहे हैं आगरा के अंदर. उसी के साथ साथ अभी बिकॉज वी हैव सीन ड्यूरिंग, बिकॉज हम लोग बहुत जल्दी जुड़ गए कोविड में, वी हैव लॉस्ट बहुत सारे लोग.
near and dear also. तो अलीगढ़ वही जैसे हम लोग बात करते हैं मैनेजमेंट के अंदर only problem is an opportunity. We have started SOS people services. There was a lady of Aligarh who lost her friend, job देना था, but we problem था कि we don't give a fish, but how to catch the fish. तो हमने बच्चों को अपने स्टूडेंट्स को इन्वॉल्व करके एक डेवलप and that to give training of entrepreneurship also. वो हमने काम किया SOS people services. हालांकि बड़ा अभी तो बड़ी सिग्निफिकेंट स्टेज में है, बट वी आर प्लानिंग पूरा मैनेजमेंट मॉड्यूल बना के बच्चों के थ्रू जाके इसको वहां पर लेके आना। तो उसके बाद बिना सोशल कंसर्न वो पैसा वगैरह सब कुछ की चीज है। अभी रिसेंटली काफी प्रोफेसर ऑफ द AU खान दे हैव ऑलवेज राइट। तो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट मी कि ये जो बच्चों का जो बात करते हैं एंगेजमेंट, students का positive engagement, जिसके through they will learn the management as well as entrepreneurial skills also. This is what I am talking and doing, and I think I will stop here. If you have any questions, you can ask me because that will be more interactive. So, because I can talk a lot about this project. Thank you very much. Because उसमें मैंने देखा कि देखिए what I do. Because being a man of behavioral science, starting में first year में जैसे ही बच्चा आता है, मैं स्क्रीनिंग करता हूँ बच्चों। Believe me, out of a class of 60, more than 10 students are having kind of a depression. Technically मैं बात नहीं करूँगा, severe depression है, clinical. I use normally being that depression inventory. उनको फिर मैं फिल्टर करके, इसमें आप कोई एग्जाम्पल बताता हूँ। Maneuver was a boy, now he is because we don't know him. So he was involved with the gambling and comorbid of depression. अपने फादर की गोश्त पिटाई कर रहा था, एयर फोर्स में फादर थे इसमें, वहां से निकल निकाल के, दो he was very energetic, very creative. जयपुर इंस्टीट्यूट से वहां से जयपुर से बीटेक किया हुआ, but उसको मैंने ऐसे बनाने का काम एमडी कोविड मैंने यार मरना तो देने को वैसे नहीं। फादर वो सेम कि सर आपकी काउंसलिंग का कुछ भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता। मैंने कहा तो मुझे मरना तो ऑप्शन भी नहीं। इधर आप उनको 10-15 रुपए देके कहिएगा गेट आउट फ्रॉम दिस एयरफोर्स गेट, he will be a big trainer or he will commit suicide or let me try. इतना प्रेशर एंगेजमेंट हुआ, now he is learning good his own business. This is a good case. So there were challenges also. ऐसे बहुत सारे challenges रहे भी हैं और बहुत अच्छा लगने लगा। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी की स्टूडेंट एंगेजमेंट और बहुत ज्यादा हम लोग वी शुड नॉट बी इंटरेस्टेड बाय दी फॉरेन मॉडल्स वी एट अ टॉक्स दिल्ली समझते हैं और थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Dr. Amritkal. Now the next in line is Professor Uday Salamke.
Sir, can we save time by not getting into discussion?
Okay, sir.
I'm actually very happy, but I wish to invite Sudhir to be here. Sudhir ji किधर है? सबको छोड़ के Sudhir जी बाहर चले गए। I'm sure people are getting up and moving out. Beyond 2 hours or 15 minutes, we are there and we are getting stress, anxiety, depression because of anything now. I don't think we make even such kind of punishment to students. I feel like it's a criminal offense now for me to speak even for 5 minutes. So this is the idea. अभी मैंने वही बताया, it's a criminal offense if my introduction is great if I'm going to speak. But अभी आपने हमारा नाम नहीं बोलते हुए डाल दिया है, I'll speak for 5 minutes. But I think काफी मेरा एंजाइटी डिप्रेशन स्ट्रेस आ रहा था लोगों को, इसके लिए कितने जन उठ के बाहर जाके आ रहे देखो आप प्लीज। आई थिंक आई वांट टू स्पेसिफिकली बी रीस्ट्रक्चर द मॉडल ऑफ ओवरऑल राउंड मैनेजमेंट। आई एम श्योर आई थिंक ऑल वेरी लर्निंग luminaries wisdom driven speakers spoke. I'll just touch base on this for 5 minutes given to me. I look at this as a wonderful opportunity, and whether anything exists or not, it doesn't matter. many of the things which Shady is talking about, he started doing from 2006, 7, 8 onwards. Because I think what is required is a growth mindset, not fixed mindset. If you have a growth mindset, I'm sure you will explore the world, be it in domestic, be it in our own country, or maybe even across the world. Many examples were given maybe from Ivy Leagues or AI, Manila, or maybe other business schools in the world. I'm sure there is a lot of them. The first point which I wish to mention as an important space is institutional restructuring and consolidation. Institution's point of view, you have a wonderful opportunity to leverage this and even to tell your management. Some of the founders are sitting there with the schools, but some of the directors are also sitting here. So I'm sure everybody spoke about multidisciplinary, but beyond that as well, the collaboration aspect. In fact, name of our business school is Wellington Institute of Management Development Research, but we re-christened that name as the We School. In 2008, the We somewhere did not pay that we make sense, not we. Be it innovation, be it design thinking, be it leadership, whatever you wish to achieve, get into that we kind of philosophy, and that made wonders for us from X to about 80X is the kind of revenue which achieved. From this 500 students to 30,000 students, probably as the students' numbers, and overall other features were also phenomenal just because of that growth mindset. And I feel from the institution point of view, it's a wonderful opportunity. This actually is the second opportunity space on autonomy. A lot of autonomous kind of opportunities are there, be it curriculum, be it your own actions. And many of the speakers they mentioned about actions speak louder than words. Ideas you churn out, you attend maybe hundreds of maybe such kind of forums. But do you take that leading from the front and then leading by the example? Will you do that? If you don't do that, it doesn't make sense. You may be very bad and you may write maybe hundreds of research papers, doesn't make any sense. So that autonomy point of view, leverage it to the extent possible, which is there. Third one is a wonderful learning opportunity is optimal learning environments and support for the students. For students, we can give wonderful support and be it from their own buffet kind of opportunity for selecting students, CBCS we can talk about, ABC we can talk about, but from students' point of view, online exists. Fortunately, now we got into blended learning, face-to-face is also there. We are sitting in the board meeting, we're discussing about all 3 areas, and we are trying to encourage all our meetings. So in some way, deep down, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for students to leverage and students will be given support. Be on multiple entry, multiple exits, at the same time, financial scholars will take it forward. For faculty, the wonderful opportunity with respect to how we can encourage them, at least the faculties who are motivated, faculties who are energetic, and sometimes what conflict follows as a hire and fire may come into picture, maybe nearby future. Because we know that whoever is not performing, I'm sure they will really get into the challenges. I won't name the company, one of the company, which is a top company, which is India's top company in IT, globally top company. They join hands with the Maharashtra government and they're trying to take it forward, joining with their platform. Maybe the content of their platform is far superior quality. If we are not going to really raise a bar, I'm sure the market will knock you off. Either disrupt yourself on your own or market will disrupt you. That's the kind of name of the game. The next one is absolutely research point of view. We have wonderful opportunities through NRM and a lot of other platforms. Technology. Technology is going to remain forever. Now, how we can leverage that and make a blended way and giving autonomy to the students in the marketplace. Anytime, anywhere the students are there, pursuing the projects, pursuing whatever kind of competitions, but if they can have access to the campus, to the lectures, everything, and likewise for the faculty as well, can make a lot of difference. In overall professional education point of view, SDGs was mentioned here. I'm sure SDGs or ESG, all those corporates will really make a lot of sense. So my at this stage here, AIMS is definitely there to support the member institutions. And AIMS is trying to make a lot of foray. And ENY report, I'm sure many of our member institutions must have read it. And in the ENY report, we made our position very clear. Whatever we can push and we support for member institutions, will be there. And let me wish all the institutions best for their NEP initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Solanke. Now, the time has come to hear some golden nuggets from the chair of this session, Professor M. Rao. So we can do something, we can. Okay.
Thank you. There is always a tough act to follow, but I try my best. I was not as prepared as over there, but when I look back at NEP, we had this. Let's talk about a little bit about NEP and my views on that. First of all, of course, we prepared a document with ELY, but I think a lot of what has gone since then. So I think you need, as well as AIMS is concerned, you need some kind of a standing committee or something that will be monitoring and going through, talking to all the people who are in the field and who know more about it. And I think we should keep constantly updating and doing that. It's very important. Now, coming to NEP, a lot of, fundamentally, executive noting that higher education is one thing, higher education is split into undergraduate and postgraduate. Because undergraduate education is when students are growing up and you need more face-to-face and, more hand-holding and things like that. When you come to graduate education, they're supposed to have this grown up, so more flexibility is required at undergraduate level. Graduate level, some specialization takes place. I've always maintained that especially PGDM, interdisciplinary, but you can have two courses with that in 2-year program, elective courses, we have 3 electives. I say 2 at most 2. So you can do that by online education nowadays. We're talking about technology and we don't know what is technology. I think instead of saying, say give some 3 electives to students, they can take set of courses that are available online. So I am give them flexibility to take those courses. I think that should be sufficient, but I don't know what the government is thinking is and so on. And also, other aspect that I want to acknowledge is, we always talk about policies and so on. I think any policy can be made to look bad by bad implementation. So we continue implementation. There is not a policy issue. If you read NEP, it's a very good articulation of what the problems are coming from. Why don't we solve some of them? I simply ask the question, if you want these problems, they can be there. If you at least solve 50% of them, not all of them, but they don't want to solve the problems, we take it to higher level and say we should have the policies. I think it's a problem of implementation, and I'm not sure how exactly it is implemented. And at the micro level, people say I'm not operations guy, strategy is one thing good, but strategy without implementation is dreaming or somebody says. So when it comes to implementation, I would like to see actually AIMS also get involved. So we talk about lots of things about the industry ready, in terms of project based, what sort of projects are there enough for the companies within because other problems we get the numbers. You look at that abroad Western countries, the numbers are small. After going to leader. But for us, the problem is numbers. Will we be able to give that many projects to the companies? Those are the issues one and two. I would actually like to see AIMS or somebody working out a program. These are the courses we would offer. For skill based, this will be the course. For ethics is on, ethics is also well known. I have another issue about ethics. Ethics is required at all levels, not only at the business level. It's some things only business people have faced. All of us have faced. Ethics should be taught in school. They should be taught in primary school and so on. We say only business ethics and so on. So, what are the courses that you would actually offer in the program? The money for our strategy guys, let's start implementation and so on. But let's like strategy without proper implementation is also an issue. So we have to get into those, and I think AIMS can play a good role by working on that. There won't be agreements, there will not be disagreements, but that is what the discussion is all about. and come up with some ideas. I'll work with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your disclosure of wisdom. Now I would like to invite the Dr. Apurva Kalkar, Vice Chancellor, Maharashtra State Skill University. She will be deliberating on shifts and changes needed in academic system to adopt the new age scale. Welcome.
Afternoon, everyone. As stated by Dr. Sarma, we will try to. Swap. As brief as possible. Almost toward lunchtime. Since I'm leading a university which is in the skill field, for me the things are little different from everyone sitting in this room because I come from the business domain and I have to be in the general domain where I have to also take care of the other faculties as well. So it's just not the business school that would be leading the so the few thoughts that I have, and I've been avoiding to make it any public appearances for last 2 months because I'm still in the process of getting our own vision document. And after the launch, I wanted to speak to the outsiders. So it's the same thing, it's like our home ground. And just put in a few thoughts here. So there are few things that I have in mind while I'm leading the skills university. The first part we're really looking at the state level is how do we look at upskilling. Second, how do we look at reskilling. Third, we're looking at how do we develop the domain skills. And the fourth that we're looking at is how do we create aspirational skills. And what are the aspirational skills? So these are the four foundations on which the university is working, and it applies to even business school. And in terms of the scale gaps and the lot of studies that have come across, I think most of us in the business school need to relook every year on where the gaps are. And I have 4 slides, but I will share it on the group. I'm sure it will be of some help to people. From the perspective of last year's report, the gaps are more in the infrastructure side, where we have about 103 million people gap that we actually see the infrastructure side. Second is the retail side, that is 17.3 million, real estate is 14 million, building construction is 33 million, and care 12.7 million, and food processing where it is 9.3 million. So probably as business schools, and also the report is talking about where the jobs are getting created and what are the qualifications where the jobs are getting created nationally in India. So 50.3% jobs are getting created in the MBA space, which is a very good news for all of us. So having understood that MBA space can fill in the gap for all of these sectors, which is essential and important for us to develop the human capital that will fit into the expectation of the industry. But what is the way forward? I'm sure that business school will have a lot of limitations, but it also requires us to think out of the box with a new education policy. For the university, I have the flexibility 60%, 60% is filling and 40% is classroom of the, and which will also a blend of face-to-face as well as online. So here is one important point that I want to try, and a lot of schools are already doing that, which is the international certification. How do we look at cross-border universities to kind of merge into our own education program? So that's something which few top universities The top business schools are already doing that, but that has to come to level 2 and level 3 institutions as well. So how do we integrate that very seamlessly into our academic programs? So that is something which is acceptable, and even as per the guidelines given by AICTE and UGC, we have the flexibility of having the online kind of teaching, which could be embedded with an international certification. So which also brings in the second component in business schools, which is the capacity building for our own faculty members, because there is even interface of the global faculties to come and teach into our business schools. This also builds skills for our own faculty to kind of align with the international standards. And I think this is not something which is new and different, but something which should become or come into the DNA of the academia and the business space. Third thing that I want to really speak here is we have been speaking a lot about the regional space, where we have so much autonomy, or even the autonomous colleges or institutions, where can we look at multiple entry and exits. And I'm sure this is a doable thing for everybody sitting in this room. There can be really rethink on one semester completion and a certification given. Semester 2 completed and a diploma given, semester 3 completed and advanced diploma given, and semester 4 completed, a PhD given. So I am not sure this could be one recommendation that should also go. We were discussing yesterday in the board meeting, if this recommendation can also go to the AICTE and Sanjay. This is one suggestion that I would definitely want to give from our end, where after the completion of an ex module, he gets a job and he wants to work and again come back for the completion. This is a flexibility I think we need to bring into the education system. This will also bring in a lot of people who will be in and out. So people will come into the institutions, will go back to the industry and again come back to the institutions. So that kind of a flavor can be brought in some of the business schools is what. So the multiple entry and exit that we've been talking about is the lowest hanging fruit in the NDP that I feel that we should be able to bring about. So these were a few of my thoughts that I had, and I think industry engagement is something that business schools have been speaking of. But of late, last 2 months, I have had the opportunity of speaking to a lot of companies, and the kind of numbers that some of the companies have been speaking of are mind-boggling. So, for example, TCS speaks of 60,000 entrants every year. So that's a very, very large number that a company like TCS is looking at, as opposed to that a local company like Assistant looks at numbers like about 7,000 to 8,000. In the construction space that I was speaking to you, had the opportunity of speaking to LNT, etc., where the numbers are than 5,000, 6,000. So all these large numbers that we're speaking of today are also looking at a national presence and people from all parts of the country to come into that. So diversity is something which is a very important component for most of the recruiters as well. So probably my real thought here is that could be really be done into these areas. One is data, industry expectations, and engaging the industry day one in terms of the course curriculum instead of a process where it is placement driven. So instead of a placement driven initiative, could we really look at them coming on day one with us? It looks very rosy, and people have been speaking about it, but there are models today in India that people are working on these models very, very systematically. Probably this is what India needs to really lead forward in terms of how the human capital of this country and the skill base need to be early defined for the business group is there. So these were my plans. If you could just quickly run them through the gaps that I spoke of. Next slide, if you can just quickly. So traditionally, current institutions and adaptation to new skill-based systems. So I think this is where MBA has a upper edge. So I think we are in a very, very pushy position. Next slide, please. Universities and institutions can look at various initiatives to improve this. And I think everyone sitting in this room knows that. I don't need not tell anybody about it. The last slide, if you can move to the last slide. So this is on the AP, which I spoke of the four important aspects that we could really look at these four important pillars to take the initiative forward from the skills that we can share this four slides. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us on the current development and what is required to be done. Now I invite Dr. Parag Kalkar. He is currently working as Director in the Art Institute and the Faculty of Government and Management, member Academic Council and member Senate at Sanskrit University in Pune. Thank you. Last speaker has got some challenges, but the topic which we might have given me is changing the mindset. So I will just have a bullet point. Most of the points are covered, but first is people are not still ready for the structural changes which we are finding out the post-graduate program 3 years to 4 years. Then most of the things are discussed in the multiple entry, but I think it's only flexibility which we are thinking about. Accreditation, re-accreditation, then the same is the autonomy for the institute, and then the institute will become degree granting institute. These are the steps which is discussed in AEP 2020. But frankly speaking, we are in a top university we were working, but still almost 329 colleges have not gone for any kind of accreditation so far, almost 30-35%. Still, we are talking about multiple faculty, and then transform the institute. But frankly speaking, last 2 years, 97 institutes were down in the state where there are single program institutes, not single faculty. Then single faculty to multi-faculty and multi-faculty and again going ahead. So we have to really see that on the ground reality. UG institute are not allowed to run a PE program. And management institute, we are running BBA program and allowed to run the BBA program, in spite the university has designed a syllabus. The people are mentally afraid of this 60-40 pattern because 40% the student can go anywhere from any institute, they can acquire 40% credit. So they are afraid of when the fees will become an annual fees to credit based fee. So I only get the 60%, and I'm not sure I'm going to get the 40% of the fees. So that is a more worry for the faculty. As the borders of these all faculties are fading away, so the worry is now we have become from 30 faculty to 4 faculty, and now 4 faculty, that borders also going to fade away. So in the space of that, all speakers have discussed that anytime, anywhere, any mode, any device, and any student can have access to our higher education institutes, and any the digital mode, online mode, offline mode like that. So the source for education is not only restricted in the 4 rooms of the classroom. I think student can get it from anywhere. So how we are going to work, how we are going to survive in the future? The end user of this is not at all aware, not at all mentally prepared, because still today's student is only interested in getting degree and not the skills. So 80% students come and join graduate programs only for getting the degree. At the end of the day, they do not enter in the classroom most of the time. So the end user will not use all these choices. Then how we are going to implement? The AEP is talking about 27% to 50% GR in next 10 years time. So I think we have to worry how we are going to achieve it without infrastructure. I think the government has allowed that the institute have capacity, can go for digital or online mode. to increase that capacity. Apex points are still mentally need to be changed because today also AICT when comes for the older institute after 25 years, they first take the Sadhara of the institute. If the land is owned by the institute, if the building major building. So I think they have to change their mindset also. So from controlling to freedom, and who are the drivers? All teachers and education institute are drivers because we have done some almost 40 to 50% teachers in the higher education. So without teachers, how we are going to give them more chances, more subjects, more options? So practically speaking, structure is good, but they're going to actually implement it. The monetary benefit, government support, and the teacher human resources are going to run. I think we need to revisit all these things. One thing which I have thought that there will not be any name of the course. Degree will be only name of the course, major and minor. So you can have a degree and then major and minor. So graduate degree and postgraduate degree, and you have major and minor, then you are going to fade away into all borders of this education. So we have to see that all we are doing is changing the mindset. But when we go to the tier 2 and tier 3 institution, I think they are not still prepared because they want their own safety. Because if the student want to change from first year to second year, I think lot of institutes put lot of efforts to get the student in first year. And then at least 2 years, I think the student is there for graduate program, 3 to 4 years is there. Now every year you have to do all these exercises. Who will look at the quality and actually deliver in the classroom? These are all things where we all need to change the mindset of the faculty, teacher, administrator, and at the end of the day, student first, because students are not mentally prepared for the choice-based discipline, irrespective it is being delivered at so many places. So I know that the institute, premier institute, are doing a lot of efforts, but I think we cannot go away because academic band of predictive applicable throughout the country. So these tier 2, tier 3 institutes, I think how we can accommodate them into the process. And the last figure I will put that irrespective of so much effort has been done, out of 1,000 institutes under our university, that is Savitribai University, only 30 institutes have preferred to take an autonomy. So 3% is the conversion of autonomy in last 10 years. So when we want to go for degree granting after autonomy, I think we have to do a lot of efforts and the timeline is very short. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So we are done away with the panel of speakers. Now, with the permission of chair, this house is open now. Those who are part of the audience, as well as those who are already deliberated on certain aspects. So I will request all of you to share your thoughts. Please raise your hands. I will come at your place and we will be happy to hear your views. Now, house is open. Sir.
Otherwise, if we start asking of today, then more than half an hour. Yeah.
Okay. So now the time has come to show the gratitude and vote of thanks from our immediate past president is Dr. Ajit Singh. I request him to do the needful.
This is the most beautiful part of the ceremony. And all of you agree that Professor Sudhir Sharma ji deserves a loud applause from all of us, including his family. Thank you very much. I will thank all the past present members of the board, participants, and all the speakers
and especially Sunil Joshi from AIMS office, and with all joint hands in praying for the good health of Mr. Venkatesh Ji, who is absolutely because he need to recover very fast. And with this request or prayer to Almighty, I request everybody to join each other for lunch. And during the lunch, please remember one thing, you have to interact each other. Regarding the round table, question asked will begin.